The next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, baby, On the Radar Radio. Yo, two special guests in the building. Canada is here in the building. The Snotty Nose Res Kids in the building, my guys. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yo, man, thanks for having us, man. Big fans.
How y'all feeling?
Feeling good, dude. Yo, like, it's our second time out here in New York this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude. And, like, growing up, we never had these opportunities or anything like that. And, like, hip-hop gave it to us. So.
What was your first time out in New York this year? What did y'all do last time?
It was back in the spring, like April, was it?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like back in April. We're on tour. We did our first tour in America, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like a 28-stop tour. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a couple American tours. Once like early in like, I think it was just late last year, and then one like in the spring of this year.
Fire.
So we've been doing a lot of touring, man.
I like how you walked in because we're having like a little heating problem. You guys were like, "Oh yeah, like this is like warm. This is warm, right?"
Yeah.
Mind you, it's December when we're recording this, so it's pretty cold in New York. But then you mentioned that you guys just performed it like near the Arctic.
Yeah, we're out in Churchill, Manitoba, man, like northern Manitoba, and yeah, dude, like right when we pulled out, man, like the plane, I thought we weren't even gonna land, dude. Like I thought we were gonna make it.
Crazy blizzard.
But like massive blizzard, and it was like minus 40 to minus 50 the whole time we were there. Yeah.
Minus 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Celsius.
Oh, Celsius. Okay.
But still,
oh my God.
But that's still cold as
my
hell.
face turned. I was like, how are you guys alive right now?
But no matter which way you put it, bro, that's still cold as fuck.
Cold as shit, bro. No matter what way wait, what is that in Fahrenheit though?
I have no clue.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be like the typical American here, but like
minus 40 for both. Oh man, I don't even know how that works. That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know how it works, but it works.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need to check for my own. Hold on, Celsius. It's just not. It says minus 40. So what? Oh, it's just.
Well, there you go. See.
Oh, it says 40 degrees Fahrenheit. 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's 40. Either way, it's cold as shit.
Either way, it's cold. It's cold.
So
we seen some polar bears.
For real?
Yeah, we went dog racing.
Yeah, we went dog sledding.
Or dog sledding. Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's like this family out there. Shout out to them. They like. It's like generations of the family just running it, right? And like they're just big fans of us. And like, yeah, man, let's take you on a dog sled.
Yeah.
We're like, oh shit, hell yeah.
But
So cool.
yo, we seen polar bears, bro.
Like that's always something I've wanted to do is dog sledding.
Yeah,
That's always been on my
fun.
bucket list and shit, dude. That's fine. So you landed in a blizzard?
We landed in a blizzard, bro, and like, and we were the only flight in, no flights out, no flights in, but they were like, they chartered it, so they're like, all right, this is a bag for them, so they were like, all right, we have to make this work, and apparently we had the craziest pilot that there is out there, so like, he made it happen. But bro, I was shitting my pants on that flight, and he was sleeping. He didn't wake
thankfully,
up.
fuck. But the whole town was just like, yo, I'm surprised you landed today.
Yeah.
We were like, oh shit.
Right, that was my next question. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how scared were you guys on the coming down? Well, if you were asleep.
I was scared, bro. I was like, oh fuck. And then the lady was like, the lady was scared. So like, when like the flight attendant's scared, then you're like, okay, someone's over here, man. Like,
yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say like whenever you're on a plane and like there's turbulence like on a plane, like the flight attendant, they chilling.
Yeah.
They just like walking up and down the aisle like nothing's going on. Meanwhile you're like there like this, right? But then if they're freaking out, that's when you gotta look at yourself. You gotta start saying a prayer. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you believe in, you start praying right there.
Facts,
you're like,
man.
please do not let me
Facts.
go today.
Exactly.
So how'd y'all get the name? How'd y'all come up with this name, Snotty Nose Res Kids?
You know what it was, man? Like, we grew up on a little reservation, and reservations are like Indian reserves.
Right.
So for us, we grew up in a small-knit community, and with small-knit communities like that, there was probably like 800 people in our little on our reservation, our community.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was like we were all raised like family. So like there's a sense of security, like there's no outside dangers coming in, and you have freedom to like run around the res and do whatever the hell you want. But with that, like comes like, like you're gonna be dirty, you're gonna have like snot in your nose, and like, so for us, like when we talk about Snotty Nose Res Kids, we talk about how we're always the kids from the res, we're always those snot nosed kids.
Yeah.
So, but like when we say res kids, it's like, yo, we always carry our community with us. So they're always with us. We always have them on our back and vice versa. But also at the same time, you know, like you look at us, you know, like we're a little rough around the edges, but there's beauty in that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. We also wanted a name that would let you know exactly who we are without us having to explain it to you. You know what I mean? Because like you hear Snotty Nose Res Kids, it's fucking hilarious. Like there's two reactions. It's either like, ha, I get it. Yeah. Or there's the other people that are just like, oh. Res Kids? So, like, you know, it's dope, man, because, like, it's a hard name to forget.
Right. What's the history behind, like, the reservation that y'all grew up on itself? Like, how long has it been around? Like, like, what's the deeper history behind it, if you don't mind me asking?
So our res is, like, in Northwest BC. I don't know if you know where that is, but it's on the western end of Canada.
Okay.
And there's a lot of history that was lost, I would say. Let's talk about that instead, because, like, for us, it was, like, we have the thing that's called the potlatch ban. Okay. So, like, it was... it came around and like it stripped us of our practice and our cultures, traditions, languages, and dances, and like pretty much art forms, and it pretty much stripped our identity from Native people that it was enforced upon. You know what I mean? And on top of that, when the smallpox epidemic, you know the whole story behind the smallpox blankets, they were gifted by the whole Hudson Bay thing, and it killed off like a majority of our people, and especially like our birth-bearing women. So like we had to like figure that out and branch out to different communities to keep our bloodline going, like our people going, and that's kind of like a kind of a scary thing to talk about, you know, like especially like, you know, like today, like we have like other problems and like in overpopulating, you know, like imagine underpopulating, because it's kind of like the end of what we're scared of. But that happened to our people, you know what I mean? We were near extinction. So we've been there since like, I don't know, like.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah,
like
years. I don't know. I don't even know like the
I was
history
gonna
of that, but.
Cut in there, but like, so my sister was working with like the nation. It was like working with like a bunch of environmentalists, and along one of the shores, they found like this old like big stick that was like a kind of like a Y shape.
Okay.
And everyone's like, okay, let's not touch this. Let's figure out what this is. And like what they found like a couple feet away from it was like a old school fishnet. And they had some like scientists like do some tests and like carbon date it, and it dated it back to like 2,500 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
And it was just there this whole time.
It was there the whole time.
Didn't get moved, nothing.
No, it just stayed in place, man.
It's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's dope.
And like I remember like walking along like the shoreline, just thinking, just trying to imagine like, man, what was it like before all of this? You know, like how our people lived. Like we lived off the land. So like that was a surreal moment for sure.
That's pretty cool. You know, you guys are talking about the languages. Obviously, you guys, you know, make music different dialects. You even today, you know what I'm saying? I was going to ask, like, what was that you were speaking in or rapping in a little bit today, too?
So that's our language, Hazlakala.
Hazlakala.
Yeah, we come from the Haza Nation, and I was just introducing myself.
I think that's fire, though.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing, like, other language freestyles recently.
Yeah.
So when you started speaking that, I was like, oh, yeah, I like this. I'm like, this is fire. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what he's
man.
saying, but I'm interested to find out more about this dialect. There isn't anything that I've heard before. Like, we've had people from Africa on the show, so we've had like dialects from over there. Obviously, a lot of Spanish artists, a lot of artists from the Caribbean, but this is something new to me too. So I was like, I want to know what this is.
Yeah,
that's fire, man.
Yeah, that's fire. I like that.
I was just introducing myself and saying where we're from.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So like your name, obviously, where you guys. I like that.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, where we come from, man, like there's like probably like 7 to 9 fluent speakers left. Okay. So like a lot of the youth in our community are really taking action to revitalize our languages, so it doesn't die out with those like remaining elders, you know. And a lot of our elders that are still have like the original dialect are probably like in their late 70s, early 80s to like late 90s, you know, like. It's on its way out if we don't do something now. Yeah. So like that's what we're trying to do even in rap, you know, like make it cool for like the kids coming up that are around those like where those revitalization programs are happening, to make them think it's cool to like even enroll in them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fire.
And
you guys consider yourselves like fluid?
I wish, man. I wish.
I wish, dude.
I had to ask.
It's like in high school, like in Canada, the second language is like French, right?
Okay.
So
right, obviously.
So like we were encouraged to take that so we could like get into college and like university, right? But if I could go back, I would learn Heisler for sure. But and then again, like it's still never too late, you know. Like he was talking about the revitalization programs for the language. And again, like my sister was like there, you know what I mean? And like, so her daily job was to go talk from like elder to elder and just
document
collect
everything.
data and document everything. How do you say it? What's the meaning behind this? How do you spell it? Because usually, we come from oral tradition, so spelling's like not really normal.
Yeah.
But over time, we have spelled things out, and like, yeah, like there's people working hard back home to make sure the language doesn't die.
Shout out your sister, man.
Yeah, shout out Megan.
Yeah.
I love you, Megan, with a passion.
Because between that and then like finding the giant fish net in the sand, like that's fire. That
Yeah,
she put in that
she's
work.
super dope, man. Like anytime I want to learn how to say something in Heisler, I just text my sister. I'm like, hey, Meg, how do you say this?
Did you call her before this?
I did not actually.
Hey, that's good. Hey, that means you learned, bro. That means you learned. Come on. That means he's learning, man. Come on. That's fire. But I peeped because like when I was doing a little bit more like deeper research on you guys, I read this thing about how the pandemic kind of hit y'all pretty hard in the music sense. Like you guys kind of lost the I don't know if you would say passion, but like kind of like the drive that you guys had at the time. Because I know in 2019 you guys had the big record that was going crazy on TikTok too. So when the pandemic hit, what kind of was going through y'all's minds at the time?
It was more of like losing momentum than it was like passion. Because like 2019 at that point was like the biggest year that we've ever had in our lives. Like we toured. It felt like nonstop.
We did over 100 shows that year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it was crazy, and like 2020, we were set to like do like to carry that momentum into 2020 double up and do like our first American tour, and then legit like a week before we were supposed to leave, it's like nope.
Yeah.
Everything shut down, so we're just like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? Because like now. We went from traveling the world to like being stuck in the house.
Yeah,
you know.
And
what
I feel like feel like it wasn't so much we losing passion towards it because we all will always have passion for this shit, But I feel like what we lost was inspiration. And inspiration through experience. You know what I mean? Because for us, like I'm an extrovert, bro. Like I like doing this shit. Like I'll find inspiration through like even talking to you, you know what I mean?
Right.
Going out and like having a night out in Brooklyn or whatever, not sitting on my couch at home. Like I find no inspiration from that, you know what I mean? So that's what it was more than anything. It was just like being put on our asses back at home and just stop from doing what we love.
Was that kind of like also the inspiration for like life after? Because like even by the title of the project, it's like it kind of implies life after what we just went through. Type,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like, but for life after, what it was, I guess I can say I found inspiration through it, but it was inspiration in like different ways. Like it was like for us being at home, we found like darknesses. We found like we had to look at ourselves in the mirror and really like face our demons and just face things that we've been like kind of looking past over the years because things have been going for us. We've been able to ignore them, and some dark shit came up. You know what I mean? And we had to deal with it. And on Life After, that's kind of what we talked about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just a little bit of everything, man. Like we had to dig deep for that and really be like not just unfiltered, but vulnerable. Right. You know what I mean? But like, hey, this is what I'm going through. Because, like mental health was like on another level during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Like, and even today, even post-pandemic, mental health is important. But, like, thank Creator that, we had the family that we have, you know what I mean? And I'm super thankful. I have my brother over here, man. Like, because in those times, like, we would just be like, whatever, let's just link up. Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, he had a place out in Yaletown in Vancouver, and like, man, we had some bad times, but more often than not, a lot of good times. You know what I mean? And like, just to be able just to get together, and sometimes we won't even just work on music. We just hang out. You know what I mean? And like, have a couple beers, whatever it may be, and like, just to feel like normal.
That Yaletown spot turned into a chill spot, man. Like when all everyone's places, no one was allowed into anyone's houses. I was like, fuck it, man. Everyone come to my house. You know what I mean? Like it was definitely the chill spot for during the pandemic, and a lot of people found refuge at my house.
What I'm gonna ask is, did anybody get COVID during this finding refuge?
Not from my place, actually.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah. No, we actually I never got COVID until the end, man. We were shooting a music video for No Jesus Piece off of the last album. Or 2 albums ago now, Life After, and that's when me and him first got COVID. I don't even know where that came from.
No, I think it was from Shambhala.
Oh yeah.
I can promise you it's from Shambhala.
We played a big festival. We played a big festival in the Kootenays, and like, dude, like mid-pandemic, there was like 1,500 people there.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the restrictions were lifted for the one for a couple of days, it was around that time, and then that's when it all happened, man. We both got COVID.
Everybody, restrictions got lifted. Everybody was like, yeah, we back outside. And then everybody gets COVID. And then it's like herd immunity, hopefully. We hope that you got herd immunity. But with this project, so, good. How about you?
Yeah. So, yeah, like, I'm good. How about you is just exactly what you just said. Like, letting the world know, coming out of a pandemic, getting back to, like, normal life, everyday activity. You know, we're back on touring. We've done over 80 shows this year. We've done 2 tours, lots of big festivals. You know, the money's coming in, spirits are high, and everyone around us is winning as well. So it's like, for us coming out of, like, even the album Life After, a lot of dark themes, and, like, we're talking about a lot of shit that's was happening to us. We're just letting the world know, like, don't worry about us no more. We're good, but we want to know how you guys are doing as well, man. Because without our fans, like, we ain't shit. We have a motto that we always say on live shows. At the end of every show, we say, "We ain't shit without you," and then the whole crowd says it, and it goes back and forth. But for us, like, I'm good. How about you? It's just letting the world know that we're doing all right these days. So we just want to know that you guys are doing well as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because even if you look at, like, the cover art, like, even the mess, like, you know, I always say art is very important for the music, even though, you know, I feel like cover art is like a lost art in these days. But
sure.
Like, even if you look at, like, the last project versus this, like, the tone of, like, the cover kind of tells it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One was like, okay, after the pandemic, you guys are talking about real shit that you guys went through during the pandemic, all this, and then this one is just very more like, oh, look, there's, like, flowers, and, you know what I'm saying? One of you has the sprinkler, and even in the motion graphic, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's like butterflies and bumblebees. And dogs
butterflies, rainbows and unicorns, all that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like things are pretty good now, and, like, you kind of get that from this project too. Even if you, like, listen to it, it's like more upbeat, more positive. But I think I think it's cool that you guys had that duality from the last project to this one, where it's like you guys can do, like, the real shit that, like, you know, talk about what you guys went through in the darker times. But then now it's like, okay, cool. Even as in the world, we're, like, in a better place now that, like, you know, I mean, the pandemic is still going on, COVID's still out there, but, like, it's still, you can kind of get back to kind of being happy, doing the things that you love to do before now.
Exactly. So, like, we take pride in, like, having every album sound different, like, which is the way it should be.
Of course.
Like, it's the way it should be. So with this one, man, we just have fun, and, like, the fact that we're able to still do this while being, like, as busy as we were, like, it's a good way to cap off the year.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. And you guys, I didn't get the full list of awards, but I saw you guys were, like, nominated for a bunch of awards this year.
Yeah. We got some awards this year.
Yeah, we got nominated for the Juno Awards, which is, like,
I wrote them down. The
biggest,
the SoCan, the Juno Awards, Indie Awards, WCMA's awards. I don't know what all these awards are, but congratulations.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah. No, we had a good year, especially coming out of the pandemic. You know, just definitely a spirit lifter. Like you know, the awards aren't above all, be all, but it's definitely like a good, like, icing on the cake. It's just to get the spirits lifted a bit, man. Yeah. But you take it as it is, you know, and just keep moving forward and just keep making art, because that's what this is about for us anyway, you know.
Right. What I was gonna also say is, like, you know, before we get up out of here, like, what's a way that people can, since we were talking about, like, you know, like, the reservation and whatnot, what's a way that people can, like, help educate or, you know, even help out in their own way from home? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are there any resources? I know you mentioned your sister has done a bunch, but are there any resources that people can, like, go look up after this, that they can educate themselves? You know, maybe I'll put in the description too.
Yeah, I mean, we could link you with a bunch of stuff to put into the description, but there's a lot of, like, really dope artists out there, like my cousin Eden. She does a lot of writing, so, like, you know, like, there's a lot of shows like Reservation Dogs. You can support Reservation Dogs, watch the shows, listen to native artists like ourselves. There's a lot of, like, really good, like Jeremy Dutcher, Tribe Called Red, or AKA The Hallucination, Boogie the Beat, you know what I mean? There's a lot of really good native artists out there, and I feel like just supporting them and listening to their music, reading their books, watching their TV shows will tell you a lot about native people and our cultures, and just from doing that. But we could, like, put that into, like, a little
throw me
link
some links.
for you.
Let me put some links in the description of the video for people. You know what I'm saying? So they can check it out, you know. Any way that I could help out too. You feel me?
Hell yeah, I appreciate it, bro.
And also on top of that, man, it's just, like, just understanding, like, the true history that's happened in relations with Indigenous people. You know what I mean? Like, before we even try and move forward, we got to acknowledge, like, what's happened. You know what I mean? Because, like, not everybody knows about residential schools. And if you were to ask some people, especially Indigenous people, it may be triggering. You know what I mean? Because some people have lived through it, Whereas like us, I mean, for myself, like I'm only second generation to not go residential school. You know what I mean? And like, there's just so many like horrific stories and traumas that come with that. And then there's intergenerational trauma, you know what I mean? And at the same time, it's just like you can look stuff up, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Google's free. Right. But, you know, like it's just having to put in that time, you know what I mean? Like, and there's a saying where, you know, my brother always says it's like decolonizing is like our job. And then reconciliation is the allies' job. Right. You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of unlearning and learning to do and healing. I mean, don't we all? You know what I mean? But
right.
You know what I mean? It's just a lot of work that has to be done, you know? And it just feels like nowadays we're finally taking a step in the right direction. Word. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Word. Also, got to ask, where y'all got these other jackets from? Because this one's fire, too.
I appreciate it, man.
So I do all like the sourcing for the leather jackets and stuff like that. Like I go and just do a lot of thrifting, go to a lot of like vintage shops. But my boy Hugo, like me and him collaborate on the design ideas, and then he executes it by putting like either fabric to leather or like paint to leather, and just comes up with the ideas and just puts them on to like the jackets. So like on the back of this one, it's actually like the old school thing when Dennis Rodman was marrying himself with a veil and all that. So Dennis Rodman's in the veil and the big glasses. He actually had I think it was a cover for GQ a few years ago, and he remade that, like what he did. Yeah. So it's pretty dope.
Shout out to Hugo, man.
Yeah, shout out to Hugo.
He holds it down for us, man.
Rebirth, baby.
Nah, y'all jackets are fire. Well, look, I appreciate y'all being here. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the great energy. Thank you for the dope-ass freestyle. Thank you for some of the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, let the people know where they can follow you at. Anything else that the fans got to know that you want to let the people know? Now's the time to do it. Y'all cameras are right here.
Follow us, Instagram, TikTok, all the social media, Snotty Nose Res Kids, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, whole nine. New album, I'm Good, How About You? Out now. Run it up.
And be ready for big things, man. We got a new album coming out in later next year. We've been working on it for the last 3 years. It's called Red Future. That shit's gonna be crazy, so be ready for that.
Word.
Yeah. And last but not least, don't forget to love yourself.
Love yourself. Well, look, I appreciate y'all being here. Go check out that new project out now. Go run up everything they have out now. Go run up that freestyle. Go follow them. Go show them some love. Go show them support. Love is free. Support is free. Till next time, on the radar. We out. Boom, my guys.